Since this is a four-cylinder motorcycle, it's inherently very smooth to ride. It's completely different than most English vertical twins. It's very smooth. Acceleration is very linear. It doesn't have any sharp torque spikes in it or anything. It's just a really comfortable bike to ride. The seating is fine. The position of the handlebars is fine. It's made for long trips, and it's a very nice bike to ride open road on. Hello, my name is Larry Horn. This is Huntington Beach, California, and this is my 1957 Ariel Square Four MKII. I've been associated with this bike for about 15 years. I built the frame, engine, rolling chassis about 14 years ago, and then I acquired the engine, and it's the original engine and the frame about 2 years ago from the gentleman I was building it for. So I managed to put the engine together, put the engine in the frame, get everything bolted up, and we now have a complete bike. The engine and the frame are the original ones. I have a birth certificate to prove that these engine and frame are the correct ones. The only thing that's not correct is the numbers on the transmission, but it is the correct transmission. The bike is about a 90% correct bike. There's some things that are not correct on it, but it's things that I like, and the gentleman that I built it for a long time ago liked also. This is a nacelle. This is where the instrument cluster is. It has a chronometric Smith speedometer. It has a unique amp meter. The little red light in the center comes on when the battery is not being charged and something is wrong with the system, and it goes off if everything's okay. It's like the old in the 1950 cars. Handlebars are correct. Horn button, high and low beam on the headlight. This is the clutch, and it's a very smooth linear clutch on this bike. It's a dry clutch, unlike most English bikes. And then we move over to the other side. This is the front brake. The front brakes on this bike, and I've been told, and I agree on this one, they're not the best brakes in the world, but they're adequate. The throttle, and you'll notice that the Ariel always put their insignia on both hand grips, so that's kind of unique. The tank is huge. I'm not exactly how much fuel it holds, but it holds enough for an all-day ride. The seat cover is correct. They came in this color and black. This one came on this bike, so I went back to this color. The rear fender, you can take these fasteners off. This section of the fender comes off, and that allows the rear wheel to come out if you have a flat without having to do a lot of other things jacking up the bike. The stand on these bikes, or the center stand, is the rear here. So when you pull the bike back and put it on the stand, you can access the rear wheel. The shock system it's called a plunger rear frame. This is a spring inside here and a little dampening system, but not much. It's just, and there's not a lot of travel to this, but it works for this bike. This is the original Pistons that came out of this bike, and this is never has been overhauled, so this is the actual original Pistons. I had Pistons made and through a local company here in Huntington Beach, and they made me these Pistons, so you can see quite the difference. Approximately the same weight, but the skirt is small, and the balance factor on these bikes, since it's four-cylinder, is 0, so I didn't have to worry too much about the weights. And these Pistons work great. I'm really happy with these Pistons. The headlight is Lucas. This is all original equipment. Lucas fenders, like I say, some of the sheet metal is not correct on this, but it's real close. This is the English. It's called a pedestrian slicer, but this is the way the English displayed their license plates. The rims are not correct. These rims are a polished alloy. They should be steel. They're not steel with chrome. And this year did not have the painted inner, so I just went with the alloy polished. I might one of these days go back to steel, but for now I like them the way they are. Simple shocks, just oil inside for dampening and a spring, internal spring. This also comes down to allow the front wheel to come up where you can change the front wheel if you have a flat too. So this is like a stand or that allows you to change the front wheel. I built the engine. It's quite an involved engine. It's actually 2 crank shafts. They're geared together, big gears, and it's 4-cylinder squares. So you have a 500cc here and a 500cc here. Later, this bike was designed by Edward Turner, and later he chopped this engine in half and made the 500 Triumph, which was a very successful motorcycle. But this is the 1000cc, 2 500 Triumphs, Siamese together is essentially what they are. The ignition is 12 volt. This is a distributor, so there's 4 wires coming out of this little cover that keeps the water out and feeds the 4 cylinders. The firing order on this engine is 1, 2, 3, 4. So they fire crossways. That's why it's very smooth. The carburetor is a small SU. They used those carburetors on most all of the English cars back in those days. Not a lot of motorcycles, but the cars used these carburetors. The exhaust system is original aftermarket. They're not the new old stock. It's aftermarket, but the original patterns of the original exhaust system. This is a steering dampener. It's just a friction dampener. You turn it this direction, it stiffens up the steering. I stiffen it up a little bit, just makes it a little more comfortable, but that's all it does. It's not a hydraulic dampener, it's just a friction dampener. This is a horn, big 6-volt horn. This is the toolbox, battery, 6-volt battery. In the generator, 6-volt generators in here. The clutch is a dry clutch, and it's inside this cover right here. There's a primary chain that comes in here that drives the tranny, and the tranny drives the rear wheel. Underneath this plate here are the 2 large gears that tie the 2 crank shafts together. This is a vintage license plate. It's not. It has the 63 on it, so obviously it's a 63 plate. This is a 57 motorcycle. I think originally this plate was yellow, but I think I want to put a vintage license plate on this bike to kind of dress it up. I'm in the process of getting this license number to this bike. It's a long DMV process, but I'm in that process of doing that now.